is February, and February is African American History Month, the time in this country when we celebrate the amazing and untold, for the most part, contributions of Black people to the great culture of this land. We have been talking about many African American artists in the past weeks, and today we are going to continue that by talking about a very talented and fascinating artist named Lorna Simpson. I have difficulty, I have to be honest, I'm going to put it right out front. I have difficulty talking about Lorna's work because I find it very ambiguous. She is called a conceptual photographer. So this, in fact, is a term right from the beginning that for me is ambiguous. What exactly is a conceptual photographer? From the reading that I've been doing about her in the last few days, my understanding of the term is that she deals with ideas and philosophy and her personal belief system through her photographs, through her visual imagery. And she is one of the first conceptual photographers that we've had on the art scene in the United States. I'm going to put up an image of her work. Unfortunately, my slideshow is not working this morning, so it's going to be a little slower today than what we've gotten used to. So bear with me. I'm going to put up an image of her work and then talk a little bit about how she works. Please do keep in mind, I am not an art historian. So I am not here today to give you facts and information about her life. I'm here to help you look at and appreciate the aesthetics of her work. So if you're feeling cheated about information about her life or names of her pieces, for example, as always, I encourage you to look her up. There is quite a bit of information about her on the net. Look her up and find out more. All right, so this is one of her pieces. You can see that it is also multimedia. She's using photography plus paint and collage. She was born in 1960 in Brooklyn, New York. She's a local person. And she came to prominence in the 80s and 90s. She has exhibited nationally and internationally, and she is most famous for her photo text installations, photo collage, and film. Her early work raised questions about the nature of representation, identity, gender, race, and history. And she, to this day, continues to explore these themes in relation to memory in a lot of different media, including photography, video, painting, drawing, and audio and sculpture. As I mentioned, she grew up in Crown Heights in Brooklyn. She attended the High School of Art and Design. Her parents, her father was Jamaican Cuban, and her mother is African American. They moved from the Midwest to New York. And her mother in particular got her very involved with the arts, took her to a lot of plays, museums, concerts, and dance performances. In the summers, her mother took her to courses at the Art Institute of Chicago while visiting her grandmother. She traveled extensively through Europe and Asia and the United States, and that's where she developed her skills as a documentary photographer. So in her early career, she traveled to do documentary photography, more reportage photographs. She later attended the School of Visual Arts in New York City, where she got her Bachelor of Fine Arts in 1982. She interned at the Studio Museum in Harlem, where she began her practice under the mentorship of David Hammons, another great African-American artist. Look him up. She got her Master of Fine Arts degree at the University of California at San Diego in 1985. And that's where she met conceptual artists. That's where she began her journey into the whole field of conceptual art. And those of you who are veteran students of mine, conceptual art is art that's more involved with ideas. You may remember we've talked about conceptual art before. It's less about visual product and finished art and more about conveying ideas and thoughts. All right, in the 80s and 90s, she tries to portray African-American women in a way that is neither derogatory nor actual representations of the women portrayed. She has used various media and techniques, including two-dimensional photographs, as well as silk screening. In the 2000s, she started exploring video installations. She's exhibited at the Whitney Museum of Art, MoMA, the Studio Museum in Harlem. She was the first African-American to exhibit at the Venice Biennale. So she's made quite a career for herself and continues to do so. Let's look at another picture. Any thoughts about this picture before we change slides?
I think the contrast between the painting and the photograph, I think there's a contrast, and yet they work really well together. She's picking up some colors from the photograph. It's very expressive, and I like it that there's some photography, a photograph too, along with whatever she's started to do.
Okay. And one of your options today, we're going to have Bill come model for us so you can do life drawing, because she was, for most of her career, Simpson was very involved in figurative work. So one of your options is going to be to do life drawing. But another one of her big things was doing collage. So one of your options today will be to create collage. And you can see that this is collage. My personal belief is that she probably painted the hair, cut it out, and collaged it over the photograph. And you're right, Robin, the contrast between the colorful hair and the beautiful photograph, the juxtaposition is really wonderful. And then, of course, all of this white space around what she wants us to look at and focus on is pretty amazing. This is very representative of her work as well, because she did quite a bit of work about the image of the African-American woman, and particularly hair. in African American culture, hair often is very, very important. So she's done series of installations about hair in African American life. There's another one in that same vein. She also uses a lot, hi Bill, she uses a lot of vintage photographs in her collage work. And this is an older photograph of a woman that she kind of fell in love and became obsessed with this woman, as has done multiple images of her with a variety of hair treatments. She's interested in exploring individual identities in her work and the intersectionality of identities. She's well known for her exploration of the Black female identity, so she is also interested in all identities, in the American identity, in universal figures and universality. There's so much we could say about her work, but I invite you folks to do further research. The red's pretty striking, isn't it? And I really, really love the way she's emphasized this line at the edge here of the hair, the way it echoes the beautiful curve of the woman's face and also the shoulders. A lot of her work also deals with racism in advertising, and I'm going to talk more about that when we talk about your assignment for today. So this is, again, using sepia tones in her work. I don't think this one is a vintage photograph. I think this is a photograph that she may have manipulated and colorized to look vintage. I love it. So Simpson's high level of conceptual sophistication and social awareness has gained her much positive attention, as has her attention and use of political issues in her work. She's incorporated the complicated relationship that African American women have with their natural hair in her work Wigs. The assortment of wigs ranges from afros, braids, and blonde locks of human, yak, and synthetic hair mounted side by side. So again, these ideas about beauty and culture and standards of what is right and beautiful are very much central to her work. And according to the Museum of Modern Art learning page, the work has various social and political undertones about the surrounding culture and the beauty standards that the culture produces. As such, the work forces the viewer to question why such beauty standards exist and how they are perpetuated by society. Though Simpson's work often centered around issues of personal memory, it wasn't until 2009 that Simpson started introducing self-portraiture into her body of work. So some of these images are self-portraits. Oh, And we're going to look at this one next. And in a moment, we're going to start talking about our assignment for today. So this one, she's also done a series of images of Black women where the woman is not facing forward. And this is also her way of talking about how American culture doesn't always see what they're looking at. In other words, our ideas of beauty, our concept of beauty, are sometimes distorted and therefore not easily visible. So she turns the model away in order to show this idea that we are not accepting of all forms of beauty. And I find this image, what do you think? What's your opinion?
I think it's exquisite.
Okay, gorgeous. Any other, throw out some words. What comes to mind first?
Very feminine.
Very feminine. She does also deal with all of the ideas we have about gender in her work, gender identity, racial identity. So that's interesting, very feminine.
It has so much feeling in it because it's from the back. You don't know. It feels like she's holding a lot of feeling and about herself. Maybe it's a Black woman, and she's looking out.
It's ambiguous,
looking
right?
Into the future, or she's just standing there in a question of, you know, what is going to happen to me, or how am I going to deal with the world?
It's evocative. Well, she's also used milking flowers. Not fresh flowers.
Yeah.
Not just making a statement, yeah.
It's interesting.
Maybe something to do with decoration or adornment.
Okay,
You know how usually if you sit for a portrait, you know, people prepare.
okay. So a statement about preparation, adornment, cosmetic, maybe. And yet the flowers are wilted. So that's saying something, but yeah, very evocative. There is a lot of feeling to this. Absolutely.
Gives a statement that most women were always told to look this way, or why don't you smile, or why don't you. So I love that she's just, I'm looking wherever I want, I'm putting whatever I want on my hair. I'm like, you know, so this is just me and my beauty and my power, and you don't really have to tell how to look or how to stand or smile.
Awesome. Okay. So this is a statement of power. This is how I feel. I don't need to smile for you. This is me. All right. So her work is very ambiguous. And that to me, and I've talked about this before, that's what makes it art. There are qualities that make things art. One of them is skill. One of them is visual aesthetics. And for me, the top most important thing is ambiguity. It's when you look at a sculpture or a painting and it makes you think, what is the artist trying to tell me? What is she trying to convey? And for me, that's what makes great art. When you look at a Da Vinci, you're always left wondering, for the Mona Lisa, for example, what was Da Vinci trying to say? Why does she have that enigmatic smile? And the same thing with Simpson's work. You're always left wondering, And that for me is what makes high art. All right. Let's look at one more image and then we're going to go to work. There are so many to share, but let's look at this one. I don't know if any of you were lucky enough to go. She had a solo show at MoMA a few years ago. It was her wig show. It was so awesome. Anybody here get a chance to go? It was really awesome. Okay, so this is an example of one of her collage. I think some of it is also silk screened. Very different from what we just looked at. To me, very 1970s. This is kind of like a Mad Men image for me from 1970s, kind of graphic advertising. But the power of the colors in this is just outstanding.
Question.
It also reminds me very much of Egyptian art. There's a kind of Sphinx-like quality to the kind of monumental size of the head. It has a sculptural feel to it.
I have a question.
Sure, Liz, right?
So when you say silk screen, does she take like a photo and then silk screen images over it? Or
I'm guessing yes.
that's one method, maybe not this one, but
Yes. And you can also do something called photo silk screen,
oh,
which is a whole nother process.
interesting.
Can I just say something?
Of course.
I like word for simplicity. The first one that seems a little forced to me. You know, just you liked cut out part here. To me, it seems forced. This one I think works because it blends and it has very cubist feel.
It has a very cubist feel to it.
And it's very simple with colors.
Yes. And that's why the colors are so strong. And then, but in the first one, think about the whole wig concept. So, yeah.
But aesthetically, I understand.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that. It's all about opinion in the visual arts. And then that's great.
I love the last one.
Yeah, it was.
With the last one too, I mean, if you look at the first one, she had all that emphasis on the top and it was all, you know, kind of wild and very, you know, in the face. Even with the last one, you know, it was a little wild with the hair and the flowers, but the body itself was very, you know, defined.
Nice observations, everyone. Thank you. Oh, and so we're now going to talk about our assignment for today, but I neglected to do something at the beginning of class. Forgive me to the librarians. Big thanks to Laura and Laura's assistant today, Natalie. Natalie is going to take Laura's place. Laura is finally going to get to go on vacation. So thank you in advance, Natalie, and thank you always, Laura. But it is, as I mentioned, African American History Month, and the library is having two other wonderful events that I meant to share at the beginning of class. You can find these on the calendar. So this is March 9th. Pastor Shirley Dennis is going to be here giving a talk. And also a community conversation on March 8th, Wednesday, March 8th. Oh, it's a play called Puerto Rican. Oh, it's from Miles Griffith, and the playwright's going to be here. Awesome. Whom I've met, he's really fantastic. Wow, this library really supports the arts. And those of you are at home, go to the website. Those of you are here at the library, Laura's got plenty of these if you need them. All right, so back to our incredible artist, Lorna Simpson, and how she's going to inspire us today. First choice of assignments today. Bill is here, our favorite model. And because Lorna did do figurative work, I encourage those of you who want to. You can continue your practice of drawing the figure. Those of you who would prefer, and this is for folks at home too, I have brought in a lot of images for collage work. Those of you at home, I encourage you to find old magazines, old catalogs, newsprint works, old photographs could work for you too. And I'm asking you to create a collage that evokes some kind of strong personal memory, whether it's a good event or an uncomfortable bad memory, but a picture in collage that when people look at it, they feel something. It's tricky, I know, but I want you to try it. A note to folks who are here, the images that I have brought in are vintage advertisements that have very stereotypical, some of them very racist images in them, because they are the types of pictures that Lorna Simpson might be attracted to use in her work. You may be offended by some of the pictures, and I want to let you know that in advance. You don't have to use them. I've also brought in New York Times magazines for you to use and clippings from other magazines that are in folders back there to use. Any questions about what we're doing today? All right. Anybody at home? You can always put questions in the chat. Here's the suggestion. If you're doing collage, I would sketch out your composition in pencil first. Don't glue anything down until you've decided where things are going to go. Folks who are drawing, start with pencil, and then if you want to move on to color, you may. Laura, you had a question? Yes, so there's going to be a moment, those of you who are at home, there's going to be a few minutes of off-screen setting up. So bear with us. Now's a good time for you to gather up materials that you can use. And let's go to work. Hi, Bill.
That's great.
I'm good. Have you ever seen Lorna Simpson's work in person?
Say again.
Have you ever seen Lorna Simpson's
No.
work in person?
First time I'm hearing about her.
She's amazing.
When was she at MoMA?
Oh, I forget the year. It was a while ago. 1994, maybe?
But she's been around.
Oh, yeah. She was the first African-American to go to the Venice Biennale.
Wow.
So she's been around a while.
She's almost like, can't think of the name. How'd they use the black one?
Okay. There are 5 things in the chat box, so I'm going to check now. People have questions? No. Okay, good. And folks at home, if you want to show me work in progress, you can always do that. Thank you, those who are here, for filling in the response form. Always awesome. Did people ever contact?
No, right. I found it, it was. Well, it's. Might want to warm up.
Everyone, you're welcome to warm up by drawing from life and then move on into the collage work. Just a suggestion. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
So Bill, whenever you're ready. Guys, 1 more minute left for the tea. So we'll do one.
You want me to stand for the first few poses?
Let's do.
Oh, it's finished work. Oh, that's finished work. Yeah. That would be finished.
A lot of people read my email. All right, Bill is ready, so we're going to begin. This is 3-minute warm up. This is a tough pose, so I want to get it started. If you are still gathering up your supplies, do it as quietly as possible. Folks, so the people who are drawing, focus.
The top of his head is cut off.
The top of his head is cut off. You can still draw. You love a challenge, Margot. Come on.
Not that kind of challenge.
All right, we're fixing. Is that better?
Much better, thanks.
You're welcome. Remember to only draw what you can see.
It's not gonna be able to.
Less than 2 minutes on this one now. It's too nice to hear. You can go on the side, on the shift. Oh, John, yeah, yeah. Why didn't she spell it? Right, this one. Great book. Really good for short names. Oh, here. And yeah, 6 seconds. That. So, and begin. So remember, in these short poses, you have to run your wrist. That's why artists do the fast pose. It's like you warm up for any athletic activity, or just like a violinist or pianist warms up before a concert. It's a way to get your eyes visually warmed up. Try and get down what we call a gesture or movement of the figure. Don't worry about the fact that his shirt is checked. Don't try and draw his face. Look at the proportions of his body. Train your eye to see what's in front of you. That's the whole trick. Really good. Try and keep it loose. Less than 2 minutes now on this one. Not going to make any comments or offer advice during 3-minute poses because the worship will feel more scribbly it looks, the better it is. I don't care really what it more should you. Feel with that. one on this one. Thank you for turning your direction, Bill. Are we starting? We are starting. Again, and you can draw right on top of the other drawing. Doesn't matter. Remember, this is warm up. This is not doing a Michelangelo drawing. Great. Look at where his elbows are. Always a great place to start looking. Look at where his elbow is in relation to his chest. Look at where his elbow is next to his ear. Find his waist. His knees are both at the same height. But look at the stretch of this leg. And most of his weight is on this side, his left side. No, right side. Try and capture that. Notice how long his arms and legs are. You okay, Bill?
Yeah,
You're halfway through.
okay.
Listen to you take the hard pose.
Just try to make it into-
It is. It's fantastic. Look at this cool thing. Look how long it is from shoulder to elbow. That helps. Measure those head lengths. Their nature knew what she was doing. It's a lot of mathematics in the human figure. See if you can use it visually.
Not getting him in the book.
It doesn't matter. This is warm up, okay? No judgments about these sketches now. We are warming up. We're all doing great. Stop the negative chat. Oh, you already moved into a new pose. All right, this will be the last 3 minutes. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Okay, look at the thrust of his neck. Look at the way his whole torso is projecting forwards over his knees. Look how far out his chin is. Those are the things you want to notice right away. You folks on the side, it's really tough. If you would prefer to look at the screen, I'll let you do it. Or if you want to really challenge yourself, it's always better to draw from life, I have to say, than from a digital image. You learn much more. Look at the slant of his back. It's like a ski slope. See? Slant of his back. Stream. After this one, we'll do some 5 minutes.
So large. They should always, they should do it.
Yeah. Really, as always, I recommend that you draw large. I know, it's actually, I learned late in life that my personal style is to draw small. But the larger you draw, the more room for error. The more room for mistakes.
Isn't the point to not make mistakes?
What?
Isn't the point of not making mistakes?
No! It's to allow your own personal style to shine. That's well, make mistakes. What?
What about animators? They have no room. They have to get the deadline,
They use computers.
or they have to go with a deadline down. And you can
Well, we can argue about it. I love arguing. Mistakes are what make it art. Listen to me. Mistakes are what make it art. Otherwise, it's.
It would be a photograph.
Well, photographs are art, so. Photographs are art because you've got the eye of the viewer. And that's a lot of what Lorna Simpson's work is about.
That's all you have. As the art, they perfectly.
And the eye, what I meant to say was the eye of the photographer, which is also very objective. And the eye of the photographer is staging the picture. Then you have the eye of the viewer observing the photograph. So photographs for me are art.
You could blur out or figure.
Now, digitally, you can just have bright and dark room, shades, all kinds of things.
The drawing goes through your mind, goes through your brain, goes through your flesh. And
They're
blood,
different, they're
and your
different
nerves,
media,
and there's
Don.
interpretation.
Yeah.
That's why everybody draws the same thing, it always looks different. It's going through your own
Exactly.
mind and your artist mind now.
All right, so,
Something more important than the artist. I think the artist is always in every piece of artwork. When you do a photograph.
I agree, and I believe we're all artists. All right, this is a 5-minute post, let's begin. So now, recommend you start the same way. With loose step. Now you have time to go back to details like plaid shirt, stitching on his hat, laces on the shoes if you want, maybe do them dating, make them 3D. Now I'm gonna come around, especially to help folks who are newer at this, to give advice. Remember, you can always reject my advice. You see things differently than I. Really? There was a great article in the Sunday New York Times about an artist, 96 years old, who has been discovered. Did you see it? He's a sculptor, he sculpts in wood.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. It's brilliant. The Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, African American artist. Good friend of Sam Gilliam. We talked about him. He never made it big because he's an abstract artist. Thaddeus. Yeah, that's him. Look, he brought it into this of his work to be long enough. 96 years old, and he kept at it even though he was never discovered. That's why I brought him up. He didn't make art for other people, he made art for himself. And that's what I'm hoping the takeaway is for all of you. Do it for yourself, for your own pleasure. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be discovered too. Yeah. Yeah, we could put his name in the chat box. Thaddeus Mosley. And there's less than a minute and a half on this one. I'll put his name in the chat box after I do another go round. Anybody at home need my advice? Looks like we're doing okay. That's what's there.
Here's another one.
Yeah, Jackson, you can find on screen. You got that. When you say you have no idea what you're doing or that you're lost, it means you're really focused. That's good news. You're welcome. It means you're lost in the seeking and the looking. That's what I want to hear. Everybody okay? Well, you can keep drawing or you can switch to collage. It's entirely up to you. All right, so this is another 5 minutes. Begin. I'm gonna put that artist's name in the chat box. I have to look him up. I sent his name to Eva. Thaddeus Mosley. Thaddeus Mosley was the sculptor I was just referring to. There's a great article about him in the New York Times, just discovered at the age of 96. He's represented now by a gallery in Chelsea. I'm forgetting the name of the gallery. But he is an abstract sculpture primarily in wood. And African-American abstract artists have been overlooked for a very long time, unfortunately. They are suddenly being rediscovered.
We have a class where we're doing variety of projects. So let's take a quick 2-minute break. Let me come back.
Oh, okay, okay. Takes courage to draw. It really does. Just like, I don't know about you guys, and I never learned to love skiing and will not even pay to go ski, but I was terrified the first time I got on a pair of skis. It's the same exact thing. First time you draw, it's scary. I don't know why people think you're gonna instantly be able to draw. You're not. Unless you're active. Bill, one more minute, okay, and we'll. What, Laura, did somebody have a question or something? Yeah, folks at home, I was just reiterating my same old message that like learning anything new, learning how to draw it's scary and requires courage. And like anything else, you have to practice in order to feel confident and have your skills grow. You have to commit. And the more you do it, the more enjoyable it will become. And the better at it you will be. And Bill is doing a walk around to see what everybody's doing, and then he's gonna rejoin us. I'm cracking the whip. Yeah, this is now gonna be a 10-minute pose. And by the way, even though Lorna Simpson is primarily a photographer, she had to do this in art school. Like any other artist, she had to do life drawing in order to get those art degrees. Okay, let's begin. This is a 10-minute pose. when you're working on your collage, really work out your composition. What shapes work well together, what colors.
I know, I need a bit of tail.
So this pose is done. I want to know what you think of that image if you're looking at. Staring at Cruella de Vil. Yeah, it depends. I'm gonna take a vote. This is people wanna. There. So yeah, at least one more. That's what it's gonna be. Yeah, maybe you don't. You don't always have to follow. You can think about this color. Not things. Which one was it? U shape. Curvy. When you're doing collage, what you cut out doesn't always have to be the thing. You could be cutting because you like the colors, and something square would suddenly become organic and curvy. There would be my perception. start at the bottom. Why not? So the lesson. Never. Starting next week will be Women's History Month. All right, so how many people want to do sharing today? Here's the choice. Do you want to keep working till 12 or do you want to stop in 15 minutes and share? I want to work. Okay, folks at home. Folks at home, do you want to work till 12 or do you want to share?
Share,
Work,
share.
share. It sounds like the share is outvoted.
Okay.
Oh, we got 2 shares. So here's what we're gonna do. While we're working, Laura, if you wouldn't mind going around with the camera, and then I think Margot, you wanted to share, so we'll give you a chance to share.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it more like 11:50. All right. And Daniel's gonna be first for sharing. Because he wanted to share, but not yet, Daniel. So we're gonna wait until this pose is over. So this is gonna be a 15-minute pose. This is really long. And now, if you haven't started with a new piece of paper, I recommend you get a clean sheet. Because you've got a lot of time now. It's covered up, that's why. No, that's not good.
All right, let me go get it. Oops.
Yeah, stars. Let's begin. This pose is beginning. Are we starting? Eyes moved, but I don't know where.
Yes.
Are we starting? Yes, this pose is started. You can hold that pose for 15 minutes, go.
That's gonna hurt.
Okay. How's that? Boring?
You're never bored.
Yes.
Not real. It's actually really interesting from this side. Somebody wants to drag a chair over here. Just watch the cord. Trip.
You know what? It's not easy.
Here, I'll help you.
No, I'll do it, it's all right.
Hand me
Go
the
around
chair.
that. I got it.
Brute strength.
Not.
No, but You're gonna be in the picture. So
I don't wanna block. Oh,
you're not blocking it, but you're gonna be videoing.
I don't care. Let's go to that, like they, it's the model.
Hold on.
So look at the slant of his shoulders. Slant downward this way. Tilt of his torso towards the screen. Thrust of his hips out. And both his hands are at elbow. Right? Use hip length. Measurements.
And I start feeling this because I went up and down the side.
Starting to use that. I never.
Here's a tip. Need something really big. bigger than these.
To kind of anchor it.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it feels a little.
Something really big and important. I'll
Uh-huh.
make this. Seating. Mhm. Composition is very difficult. Trial by error kind of thing.
Yeah, because you have to be willing to commit.
Like with anything, I'm trying to learn French.
Oh, really?
C'est, dites-moi. Quoi? Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Moi aussi.
JPPA, some
Vous êtes
French
plus
together.
avancé que moi. Oui, c'est vrai. I wouldn't do too much more, something little over this. Yeah. That's what they're there for. Are you brought from yesterday? We have more in my card. Oh, package. Yeah, your message is clear, people. Because they're the real conceptual piece here. All about the money. Yeah, you can cite with your pencil. I don't usually, I just taught it once, really. At the senior center when I taught other citing. Really like teaching. Yeah. It works too. You like the one. It's not like that. More than one. And a little bit more on the back of it. This is an area that a lot of artists, they forget that the back of the head is big. Stone is a large object. No, dark inside the bowl. Folks, if you have to get up right now, there's some kind of work going on here with a long wire, 2 long wires. On this side of the room, so be very careful walking around. We'll move that. That's behind you.
I'm guessing that we are.
Oh, okay. never mind. Yes, ma'am.
You should have a class that folded fabric. Do that. I love doing both. Oh. Under 3 minutes on this vote.
Yes.
I was talking to them yesterday, we have this listening time. I want to go there. It's fun, good time. Let's see, every movie was. When I was a teacher, I would show, every year I would show my neighbors photo.
Oh, I hate it.
You hated Daniel?
Yeah, because I found the kids out.
Oh, okay. But the art was good.
That I got it.
You like Spirited Away?
That one I like.
Okay.
But honestly,
Miyazaki, one of the greatest animators.
actually, I'm very, very critical of Hayao Miyazaki. Not everything he does is very good. For example, my least favorite one, Pony. Pony. I hated that.
A lot of people don't like Tanya. You're not alone in that. I have no
But if you want to
idea.
see a good one, watch the
That's one I haven't seen.
That one is a fictional. It's a fictional.
What about Howl's Moving Castle? Love it. You should the library. I would love to have Miyazaki. It's an all-night. Maybe I would double header.
You know, you know, to get mad.
What?
You know, to get mad.
Uh, So Laura, if you want to take the camera around now. Natalie, yay, thank you, Natalie. Natalie. To have fun with us. I hope. So. Folks at home, we're gonna do a turn around the room with our wonderful librarian Natalie to show off the work that people here have done, the works. And then we will share with folks at home. Because folks at home, I believe you went first last time. Oh, I'm sorry, Natalie, can we look at Daniel's work first? Because he was the only one who wanted to share. You want to turn your work down? And Daniel is working in charcoal. It's really, wow.
Nice.
I'm not a reading charcoal. Look how great his performance are. Well done, Dan. Beautiful. Lovely. Bill. Well done.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, read it next week. I want to see the progress.
All right, I'll give it a try.
So anyone else who wants to share what they're doing, let's let Natalie know. Jane? Jane is working on collage.
We both did collage.
I just added this, I'm not sure.
Wow, look at this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks so different on the screen.
Wow.
Nice.
You want to talk a little bit about what's going on?
Well, I started this a while ago, and then today I wanted to lay in the horizon. I wanted to lay in the little horizon here because I want to work on that. And then Liz came by and gave me a great idea. She said we needed something big in the foreground here. So, and then the caption is kind of optional, not yet sure that works. But
Very Lorna Simpson. He used text in her work quite often.
Hopefully remind me of Salvador Dali.
Beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah, the composition is really coming alive now.
Thank you.
The first one.
Well done.
This one over here was
Oh, this is
a
Robin's.
5-minute sketch, and this was a 15.
They're
And I
great.
never can get the whole body on the picture.
Love the expression
Fabulous.
in Bill's face. Great drawing. I got soulful eyes, Bill. Yeah. Well done, Robin. Oh, these are Donna's. Look how awesome. Nice shading. Wow, you look a little like Joe Biden. Right? Am I right? Look at this one. He reminds me of Joe. No, now it's that svelte elegance.
Crossing the paper from the bottom corner to the top.
And Donna, you started at the bottom. This is really unique. Most artists start at the head and work down, but Donna started at the feet and worked up in this wonderful drawing. It's really, really nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. 5-minute poses.
Wow.
This one, and then this one. This one. You see it here. I thought it'd be interesting to sit him in the room with himself, standing backwards, frontwards, and far away, thinking about himself.
Nice concept. All right, thanks, Donna. Anyone else here in the library who wants to share? Heather over here, Natalie. Different this work is, I just love it.
Yeah, wait till she get around that. Listen, you know, I work till the last second and
All right, Heather's turn, everybody. Listen to Heather.
There's nothing to say.
Oh,
Very nice.
beautiful color, right? Oh, I love this drawing.
Oh, that's great.
Love, love, love this. Look at the great texture. I love the tilt of the body. Really nice. Well done. All right, anyone else here?
me.
Rode wants to share over here, Natalie.
Think I'm done. That was a whole lot.
Wow.
That's great.
This one's finished or you're still working? Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Like that.
Really strong lines. What, Dan?
Arab line.
It's Arabic. No? Yes? Looks like Arabic writing.
That's beautiful.
It's from one of your printers.
Okay. This one I don't, this is Arabic.
Yeah.
This may be,
That's from the same page.
it's the same page. Okay.
Great.
So this is really incredibly challenging to work collage into an already existing drawing is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Bill the musician. Marlo, wait a minute.
Yeah, Margot's at home. Anyone else here who wants to share? I'm not sure. Mika, do you want to share? Okay, good. This is Mika's. Oh, Mika's drawing of Elizabeth. She was working on this yesterday, but she started this months ago.
Wow.
Awesome.
Is that watercolor, Mika? Watercolor.
Wow.
And what did you make today? This is definitely a conceptual collage, right? It's about consumerism, am I right? Capitalism. How the female body sells anything and everything. Yeah, but if you were female, you would resent.
Yeah.
There's actually a great film, the name of which I'm forgetting, all about how the female body gets chopped up and it's used to sell everything from cars to cigarettes to liquor. All right, thanks, Natalie. So anyone else before we go to Margot?
Ooh,
Oh, this is Susie's. This is so cool. You did well, Susie.
Color background.
Very nice.
Do not throw it away, Susie. I'm gonna come hit you. Susie, no, no.
No, Susie.
Susie, listen to me.
That's what I'm trying to say. Shiva and Natalie are the two.
All right. Anyone else want to share what you're working on? No? Sure? All right, Margot, you're up.
Margot.
it's telling me I can't start my video because the host has disabled it.
Oh, did you hear Laura?
Yeah.
It's Margot, yeah. Did I do something?
I don't know.
It might be on her end, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Very good. Can you see me? Well, you have to take, there you go.
There you are.
Let's say you have to spotlight me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a Cuban woman. Anyway, I'm not finished.
Did you look at a Lorna Simpson image that I did not show? It was in my slideshow, but I didn't show it today.
No, I just went
Because
from,
there's a wonderful Lorna Simpson. I'm not sure if it's mixed media with a woman with absolutely piles of hair like this that I just love. And this, your piece is reminding me of her work. It's so cool.
thank you.
Is it finished, Margot, or you're gonna do
No,
more?
no, I'm gonna add something that tells you the woman is Cuban.
Oh, okay.
And sign it. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
Very Instagram-ish.
Thanks.
No, it's very powerful, the way the car is looking at us and then she's looking there, and the hat and the hair, just beautiful.
Yeah, there's so many different points of view in this image. It's just so cool.
Can you tell that's her brain?
Yep, I knew that right away.
That's my drawing skills, so. Okay,
It's your what?
my drawing skills. Anyway, I've never
Yes.
drawn a brain.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Margot. Anyone else at home? Lizzie, do you want to share?
All right. Oh, you cannot start your video. Oh, the host stopped it.
Lizzie seems to want to share.
Another host stopped the video thing.
Laura, if you can make that happen. Lizzie. Well, there's one Lizzie here, but
Hmm.
from one Lizzie to another.
That's why I
You gotta
wanted
turn your
Lizzie.
camera on, Lizzie.
I've been trying, but I can't because the host stopped it, but that's okay.
No, she did that with me too. She has to hit something. There you go.
Let me try now. Oh,
Yay! All right, hold up your art. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very, very, very nice.
I'm trying to practice those proportions. Bill does a really good job at making unique.
Poses. Isn't he
poses.
great? He's great.
Yeah, for sure. Because even when I look back, almost none of his poses are the same.
When this one is finished, send me a JPEG, okay? I love it.
Okay, thanks.
Well done, Lizzie. All right, quelle heure est-il maintenant? What time is it?
1:02.
1 minute, so. Quick announcement for African American History Month, check out these 2 events. Come if you can. And next month is Women's History Month. We will be celebrating the awesome contribution of women to the culture of the United States. All right, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Art on, and I will see you next week. I believe it's March 1st is the next
It
class.
is.
I don't remember who the artist is, but I will send you an email. Oh, Laura, who is so much more organized than I, has put it in the chat. Who is it?